Listen to me. You don't get what you wish for. You don't get what you hope for. You don't get what you dream about. You get what you grind for. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to win. But not everybody's willing to grind when it's cold, when it's dark, when the crowd is gone and the camera's off. You think success is gonna show up because you posted a quote? You think greatness is gonna knock on your door just because you got potential? Nah, her potential without grind is wasted. You wanna be first. You gotta wake up before everybody else. You gotta put in reps when nobody's watching. You gotta study when your friends are partying. You gotta grind so hard that the results got no choice but to show up. You ain't gonna get it just because you're talented. There are people less talented than you who are winning. Why? Because they grind like their life depends on it. You still waiting for permission. You still waiting for the perfect moment. Listen to me. The grind don't wait. You want freedom? Grind. You want to change your family tree? Grind. You want to silence the doubters? Grind. You were not born to be average. But if you don't grind, that's exactly where you'll stay. You can cry, you can bleed, you can break, but never stop grinding, because the grind don't care how you feel. It only respects work. And I promise you this, if you grind with your whole heart, what's yours will come. You don't get what you want. You get what you grind for. You want greatness? Then you got to understand something right now. Grind is the gateway to greatness. Not talent, not luck, not somebody handing you an opportunity. It's the grind, the dirty work, the daily effort, the sweat that nobody sees. That's what separates the ones who make it from the ones who wish they did. And I'm telling you, if you're not willing to grind, then don't talk about success. Don't talk about dreams. Don't talk about goals. Because none of that matters if you're not ready to get up every single day and outwork your yesterday. You keep thinking greatness is something reserved for the special people. Like maybe they were born with it, but I came to tell you, nobody's born with greatness. They earn it. They build it one brick at a time. And that wall of greatness is built on grind, built on early mornings when nobody else is awake, built on late nights when everybody else has given up, built on failures that would have broken the average person. But you keep grinding. You say you want it, but I need to see you prove it. Because grind ain't talk. Grind ain't tags. Grind ain't what you post on your story. Grind is what you do when there's no camera. Grind is when you're sore, tired, frustrated, and you still show up. It's when you don't feel like it and still push through. That's grind. That's real. That's the path to greatness. You want to be the best? You better be obsessed. You better fall in love with the process, because greatness isn't a one-time event. It's not a lucky break. It's a daily grind. It's discipline when motivation disappears. It's doing the boring stuff with excellence. It's giving 120% when 80% would still get by. I'm telling you, the people at the top, they grind like it's a lifestyle. It's not optional. It's not optional. It's not negotiable. It's who they are. And if you're serious about winning, it better be who you are too. Too many people want the reward but don't want the work. They want the stage but not the steps. They want the recognition but not the rejection. But you gotta understand, greatness lies in the grind. Every great athlete, every world-class speaker, every successful entrepreneur, they got there because they made the grind their best friend. They embraced it. They didn't run from it. They ran toward it. And let me tell you something else. The grind doesn't care about your background. It doesn't care how poor you were, how broken your past is, how many people doubted you. The grind doesn't care. You know what it does care about? It cares about whether you show up. It cares about whether you push past your excuses. It cares about your heart, your hunger, your hustle. That's what the grind respects. Not your pain, not your complaints, your effort. You've got a dream. That's good. But dreams are cheap. Everybody's got a dream. What makes the difference is the grind, because only the grind turns dreams into reality. You see people winning and think they're lucky. No, you didn't see the nights they cried. You didn't see the times they worked when they were sick, broke, tired. You didn't see the sacrifice, but it was there. Every win you admire came from a grind you didn't witness. You think you're gonna get to the top on talent alone? Let me be real with you. Talent without grind is useless. You could be the most gifted person in the room, but if you're lazy, if you're inconsistent, if you don't grind, somebody else with half your ability will pass you up. They'll take what could have been yours. You'll be sitting there bitter, wondering why they made it and you did, and you did. The answer, they outgrinded you, period. You don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to be the smartest or the strongest, but you do have to be relentless. You got to be the one who doesn't stop. The one who keeps showing up no matter what. The one who turns pain into power and setbacks into setups. That's who wins. That's who gets remembered. That's who earns greatness. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna keep talking, or are you gonna grind? You're gonna keep dreaming, or are you gonna wake up and do the work? Because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna hand you greatness. It's not coming on a silver platter. It's coming through early mornings, lonely nights, and a whole lot of work that nobody claps for. But if you stick with it, if you grind with all you got, if you refuse to quit, that greatness, it's yours. Because in the end, you don't get what you want. You get what you grind. You think talent is enough? You think just because you're gifted, you're guaranteed success? Let me tell you something you might not want to hear. Consistency beats talent when talent doesn't grind. There are thousands of people out there more talented than the ones at the top, but they're not winning. Why? Because they're inconsistent. They show up once in a while. They only give effort when it feels good. They only work hard when it's convenient. But the ones who win, they show up every single day. Rain, shine, pain. Show up. That's the difference. You could be the most talented person in your class, your team, your city. But if you don't grind, if you don't put in the reps, if you don't stay consistent, someone with half your talent will pass you by. Your talent will pass you by. When they do, it won't be because they're better. It'll be because they were more consistent. They kept moving forward when you got comfortable. They stayed focused when you got distracted. They trained when you made excuses. That's how the game is won, not with raw talent, but with raw discipline. Let me make it plain. Talent gives you potential. Consistency unlocks it. If you're not consistent, your talent is like a car with no fuel. It might look powerful, it might sound impressive, but it's not going anywhere. Consistency is the fuel that makes your talent move. It's the grind, the daily commitment, that turns your potential into performance. It's not what you can do once in a while that counts. It's what you do over and over again. That's where the growth is. That's where the results live. You know what people respect? Not flashes of brilliance. They respect people who show up every day and put in work even when nobody's watching. And they respect people who don't just have a good game now and then, but who perform every week, every month, every year. That's who builds a legacy. That's who becomes undeniable. Not the most talented, but the most consistent. I've seen it too many times. The gifted kid who thinks they don't have to try. The talented athlete who skips practice. The smart student who stops studying. They all fall behind. Because somewhere out there is a person with much talent, but with more grind. They're working while the gifted sleep. They're improving while the talented get lazy. And guess what? The grind catches up. Consistency catches up. And suddenly the spotlight shifts. Suddenly the person who was behind becomes the one out front. See, the grind doesn't lie. It's the great equalizer. You can't fake consistency. You can't pretend to work hard every day. Either you show up or you don't. And the ones who show up, even when they're tired, even when they don't feel like it, those are the ones who rise. Those are the ones who go from average to elite. It's not a magic trick. It's not a magic trick. It's not a shortcut. It's just a compound effect of consistency. Every small step forward, every session, every effort, it builds up. It stacks until the results explode. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying talent doesn't matter. It does. But talent without consistency is like a firework, right for a second and gone. What you want to be is a sunrise, steady, inevitable, powerful. That only happens when you commit to the grind, when you get up every day and do the work, no matter how you feel. You think you're gonna get where you wanna go by being intense once a month? No, it's about showing up every single day with a standard. Not just when people are watching, not just when you're hyped, but when it's boring, when it's tough, when there's no praise, no reward, no spotlight. That's where greatness is built. In the shadows, through consistency, through repetition. You wanna know who's gonna win 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Look at who's consistent today. Look at who's showing up without applause. Look at who's putting in work without results yet. Because that person That person is about to shock everybody. If you want that to be you, you better stop relying on talent alone. You better fall in love with consistency, because the world doesn't pay you for your potential. It pays you for what you consistently produce. So I'm asking you, can you be consistent even when no one believes in you? Can you grind when the hype is gone? Can you keep going when the wins are small and slow? Because that's the test. That's what champions are made. Not in the moments of glory, but in the days of discipline. You got the talent. You've got, that's not a question. The question is, do you have the consistency to match it? Because if you do, if you grind every single day, if you never let up, then you will separate yourself. You will rise above. You will become exactly what you were meant to be. But not because you were the most talented, because you were the most consistent. The grind doesn't care about your feelings. That's something you need to understand if you're serious about success. This journey isn't about how you feel. It's about what you do. It's about what you do. It's about how you respond when you wake up and you're tired, when your body aches, when you're emotionally drained, when you're discouraged. That grind doesn't stop because you're having a bad day. It doesn't pause because you're sad or angry. It's still there, waiting for you to show up, waiting to see what you're made of. And if you're chasing greatness, you don't get the luxury of quitting just because the mood ain't right. You think champions feel like training every day. You think world-class performers always feel like pushing themselves. No, but they do it anyway, because they know the grind doesn't care how they feel. And the truth is, the grind is not personal. It's not out to get you. It's just the price. It's just the process. And if you want the reward, you got to be willing to go through it, feelings and all. The problem is, most people are letting their emotions run their lives. You don't feel motivated, so you don't move. You don't feel happy, so you stop. You're frustrated, so you give up. And you wonder why you're stuck. You wonder why success seems far away. It's because you keep treating your emotions like they're facts. But listen to me. Your feelings are in charge. Your grind is, your purpose is, your future is. And you gotta stop negotiating with your feelings and start obeying your goals. There are gonna be days when you feel like quitting. Days when it all seems pointless. Days when your progress is invisible and the pain is loud. That's when the grind speaks the loudest. It's asking you, are you still coming? Are you still hungry? And if you say yes, if you keep showing up, then you grow. You get stronger. You become the kind of person that success can't ignore. But if you back off, if you let your emotions dictate your grind, then you're always gonna fall short. You've gotta learn how to work through your feelings, not wait for them to change. Work while you're hurting, grind while you're tired, push while you're scared. That's what separates average from elite. Because anybody can work when they feel great. Anybody can go hard when the energy is high and the crowd is cheering. But it takes a different breed to grind when it's silent, when it's lonely, when the only person clapping for you is you. That's where character is built, not in the sunshine, but in the storm. When everything inside you said, stop, and you still say go. That's power, that's discipline, that's what makes you unstoppable. Your ability to show up regardless of how you feel is what makes the difference. Because the truth is, success doesn't care about your excuses. Life doesn't care about your bad days. The grind won't slow down to accommodate your emotions. So you gotta rise above them. You gotta push through. You've got a dream, then you better protect it from your feelings. You better build a mindset so strong that even when the emotions try to drag you down, your mission lifts you up. This isn't about being robotic, it's about being driven. It's about having a vision so powerful that you don't let temporary emotions sabotage a permanent outcome. You've got to be so locked in that even on your worst day, you're still moving forward. You want results? Then stop waiting to feel right. Start acting right. Start grinding no matter what. Show up for your goals the way you show up for your job, because this is your real job, your future, your purpose, your dream. They are dependent on you. They don't need your feelings. They need your action. I know you've been hurt. I know you're tired. I know you're tired. I know life hit you hard. But you're still breathing, you're still standing. And as long as you can move, you can grind. As long as your heart's still beating, you can build. So stop using your emotions as a crutch and start using them as fuel. Let your pain push you. Let your frustration drive you. Let your sadness remind you that you're still alive. And that means the mission ain't over. Get up, grind anyway. You don't have to feel like it. You don't have to wait for motivation. You don't need perfect conditions. All you need is a reason. And if your reason is strong enough, your feelings won't stop you, they'll fuel you. Because at the end of the day, it's not about how you feel. It's about what you do. The grind don't care how you feel, but it will reward your consistency, your effort, your resilience. So show up every day, no matter what, because that's how winners are made. Every rep, every study session, every early morning, they all matter. You may not see it now. You may not feel the results right away, but I'm telling you, everything you do in the dark eventually shows up in the light. Success isn't built in one big leap. It's built in 1,000 small steps. Each one seems insignificant at the time. Another lap, another hour of reading, another practice when you're sore and tired. But those tiny actions done consistently are what build the version of you that wins. People are always looking for a breakthrough moment. That one big opportunity, that one lucky chance, that one day when everything changes. But what they don't understand is that the breakthrough doesn't come from one moment. It comes from everything you did before that moment. It comes from the grind. The moments when you were exhausted but still gave your all. The hours you spent alone, locked in, while others were out having fun. The times you failed but didn't stop. Every single rip matters because it's part of the process that prepares you for the moment you've been waiting for. You're sculpting something. Every time you push yourself, you're chiseling away at the weak version of you. You're shaping your mind. You're sharpening your focus. You're stacking confidence. And that's what most people miss. The grind is not just about getting results. It's about who you become in the process. It's about the mindset you build. It's about becoming someone who doesn't fold when life gets hard. Someone who can be counted on. Someone who finishes what they start. You think those early mornings don't matter? You think that one skipped workout or one missed assignment won't catch up to you? It will. Not because missing one time breaks everything, but because it creates a habit. And just like small, consistent actions create success, small, consistent compromises destroy it. You have to treat every rep like it matters, because it does. You have to attack every session like it counts, because it does. The people who make it, the people who dominate, they're not casual about the details. They don't take reps off. They don't slack when no one's watching. They go all in every time because they understand the value of the little things. Look at the greats. In sports and business and any field, they didn't get there by luck. They got there by doing the basics with excellence. Over and over and over again. They didn't complain about repetition. They didn't look for shortcuts. They mastered the fundamentals and gave their best every single day. That's how you become great. Not by doing big things once, but by doing small things right 1,000 times. It's like planting seeds. You don't plant one day and harvest the next. You plant, you water, you nurture, day after day, and eventually the results come. But too many people quit in the middle. They plant the seed and they get frustrated because it doesn't grow overnight. So they stop watering, they stop working, and then they wonder why nothing happened. You can't stop. You have to believe in the process even when the results are invisible. You have to keep going even when it feels like it's not working. Every rep is a seed. Every session is a drop of water. Every early morning is sunshine. And if you stay consistent, the harvest will come. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You just need to show up and do the work. Day in, day out. You need to treat every action like it matters, because it does. The person you want to be, the goals you want to hit, the life you want to live, they're all on the other side of your daily grind. You don't get there by chance. You get there by choice every single day. So when your alarm goes off and you don't feel like it, remember, it matters. When you've done 10 reps and your body says stop, but your mind says one more, it matters. When you're studying and your eyes are heavy, but you keep reading anyway, that matters. It's all adding up. You may not see it now, but one day you'll look back and realize all those little moments were the reason you made it. Success doesn't shout. It whispers. It's built quietly in the hours when no one's looking. It's earned in the places where no one is cheering. Every rep matters. Every choice you make either takes you one step closer to the life you want or one step further away. So keep grinding. Keep showing up. Keep stacking wins. Because every single effort, no matter how small, is building something greater than you can see right now. You gotta grind even when there's no applause. That's the test. That's the part most people skip over. They want the praise, the spotlight, the standing ovation. They want people clapping for them, reposting them, celebrating their hustle. But when that applause goes silent, when the room's empty and the lights are off, that's when it's revealed who really wants it and who just wanted attention. The real grind happens in the quiet. The real champions are built when no one's watching, when no one's cheering, when no one even knows your name. Most people are addicted to validation. They need somebody to say a good job before they believe they're making progress. They want likes and comments and recognition before they're willing to put in the work. But the grind doesn't wait on applause. It doesn't slow down because no one's watching. It keeps going. That if you want to be great, you've got to keep going too, even when there's no crowd, even when there's no spotlight, even when it feels like no one cares. Think about it. The moments when you grow the most aren't the moments when everyone's clapping. It's the moments when you push yourself in silence. When you get up early and nobody knows. When you stay late and no one says thank you. When you train, study, practice, and nobody's paying attention. That's where greatness is born. Not in applause, but in the quiet discipline of doing the work. You can't build an extraordinary life on external motivation because the crowd doesn't always show up. The recognition doesn't always come. If you depend on that to keep going, you'll fall apart when things get lonely. You'll quit when no one notices your effort. You'll slow down when nobody's around to praise you. And that's why so many people never make it to the top, because they were grinding for the applause, not for the purpose. Your purpose has to be bigger than praise. Your drive has to be deeper than recognition. You have to be committed to the grind because it's who you are, not because of who's watching. If you want to be elite, if you want to be remembered, you've got to do the work long before anybody starts clapping. You've got to be willing to struggle in silence, to build in private, to grind in the shadows. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in life come when nobody's around to see them. And that's when you build your strength. That's when you shape your mindset. That's when you develop the habits that will carry you through the highs and the lows. The world might not see it yet, but you know what you're doing. You know what you're building. And eventually the results will be so loud they can't be ignored. But until then, you gotta be okay grinding in silence. It's not easy. There will be days when you question if it's worth it. Days when it feels like you're giving everything and get nothing. But that's exactly when you have to keep going, because you're planting seeds, you're laying foundation. You're setting yourself up for something bigger, something that most people will never understand because they quit too soon. They walked away because no one clapped. But you keep going because you don't need noise to know your worth. When you can grind without needing validation, that's when you become dangerous. That's when you become unstoppable, because now you're not moved by opinions. You're not distracted by compliments. You're focused. You're locked in. You've decided that your mission means more than your comfort, that your vision matters more than applause. And when you move like that, when you grind from your soul, not your ego, you start to tap into your true power. Let other people chase applause. Let them chase popularity. You stay focused on progress. You stay focused on growth, because applause fades. Fame is temporary, but the character you build from grinding in the dark, that lasts forever. That becomes the core of who you are. That becomes your strength when the world finally catches on and the spotlight finally hits you. Because make no mistake, if you stay consistent, if you keep showing up, the spotlight will come. The recognition will come. But when it does, you'll be ready, because you've been doing the work long before anybody was watching. So keep grinding, keep building, keep hustling when no one's clapping. Don't wait for the world to recognize your greatness. Your greatness, silence, earn it, work for it. And when the moment comes, when the world finally sees what you've been becoming, they'll wonder how you did it. And you'll know the truth. You were grinding the whole time, even when no one applauded. Pain is part of the process. Keep grinding through it. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. They want the victory without the bruises, the progress without the pressure, the results without the resistance, but it doesn't work that way. If you're chasing greatness, pain is going to greet you at the door. It's not there to stop you. It's there to test you. It's there to add how bad you really want this, and how you respond to that pain, not how you perform when everything feels good, is what separates winners from everybody else. Most people see pain as a reason to stop, As soon as it gets uncomfortable, they start looking for the exit. They pull back, they slow down. They look for an easier path. But the ones who make it to the top, they don't run from pain. They don't complain about it. They lean into it, they use it. Because pain has a purpose. It builds you, it refines you. It strips away weakness and reveals strength you didn't know you had. Every time you push through pain, you level up. You stretch your limits, you become more than you were yesterday. And I'm not just talking about physical pain, I'm talking about emotional pain, frustration, setbacks, loneliness, all of it. The road to success is paved with discomfort. Move. And if you're not willing to walk through it, you don't really want it. Wanting something means being willing to endure what it takes to get it. Not just when it's fun, not just when it's easy, but every single time, even when it hurts. You gotta shift your mindset. Stop thinking pain is punishment. It's not. It's proof that you're pushing. It's proof that you're growing. The pain means you're doing something that matters. It means you're stepping outside your comfort zone. And let me tell you, nothing worth having live is inside that zone. All your dreams, all your potential, all the things you're capable of becoming, they live on the other side of pain. You want results that few have, then be ready to endure what few will. That's the price. That's the grind. And yes, it's gonna hurt. There will be days when your body is screaming, days when your mind is exhausted, days when your heart feels like giving up. But that's the exact moment you've got to dig deep. That's when you got to tell yourself, this pain isn't here to destroy me. It's here to develop me. Most people want change without challenge. But transformation comes through trial. That's how you build resilience. That's how you develop discipline. And those two things, they're more powerful than talent. Because talent might get you started, but it's pain that makes you unstoppable. Pain teaches you how to keep going when nothing's going your way. Teaches you how to fight back, how to stay focused, how to grow stronger through the storm. You can't fake that. You can't shortcut that. It's something you earn in the fire. You earn it when you keep grinding after failure. You earn it when you stay committed after being overlooked. You earn it when you keep your head down and your heart in the fight, no matter how much it hurts. And I get it. Pain can feel overwhelming. It can make you question everything. But here's the secret. The pain always passes, always. What stays is what it leaves behind. The wisdom, the strength, the toughness, the hunger. That's what you keep. And when you go through enough pain and survive it, you start to believe in yourself in a whole new way. Because you realize, if I can make it through that, I can make it through anything. And don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Pain is part of every success story. Every champion has been through it. Every legend has faced it. Every great thing ever built came through sweat, sacrifice, and suffering. So stop looking for a painless path. Stop waiting for things to get easier. They won't. What you need is to get stronger. What you need is to train your mind to outlast the pain, to keep showing up even when it hurts. That's the mindset that wins. That's the grind that breaks through barriers. There's no magic moment where the pain disappears forever. But what has happened is this: you get better at handling it. You learn how to keep moving with the weight on your shoulders. You learn how to smile in the storm. You learn how to say, bring it on, because you know that every time pain shows up, growth is right behind it. So don't let pain stop you. Let it shape you. Let it strengthen you. Let it show you what you're made of. Show you what you're made of. Because the ones who rise, they're not the ones who avoided pain. They're the ones who embraced it and kept grinding anyway. Grind with your vision, not your circumstances. That's the mindset that changes everything. Because if you let your circumstances dictate your grind, you'll never make it. You'll always have a reason to slow down. You'll always have a reason to stop. Life will always throw something at you. Distractions, disappointments, delays. If you grind based on what's around you instead of what's inside you, you'll lose momentum every time things get tough. But when you're driven by vision, when you're locked in on your purpose, nothing can stop you. You've got to be fueled by where you're going, not by where you are, because where you are is temporary. It's just a chapter, not the full story. You might be broke right now. You might be struggling. You might feel stuck. But that's not who you are. That's just where you are. The grind is what moves you. The vision is what pulls you forward. And the only way to stay consistent in the grind is to keep your eyes on where you're going, not on what's trying to hold you back. Most people never reach their potential because they let their surroundings shape their standards, yourself. If things around them aren't perfect, they let their effort drop. They say, I'll push harder when things get better. I'll grind when I feel more supported. I'll give 100% when my situation improves. But it doesn't work like that. You don't wait for the conditions to change. You change in spite of the conditions. You grind like you already made it. You move like the vision is real, even if nobody else sees it yet. Your environment might be noisy. Your people might be doubting you. You might have every reason to complain. But that's when you have to remember why you started. That's when you have to dig deeper than the distractions. Because the grind is personal. It's not about what they think. It's about what you know. It's about what you believe. It's about where you're headed. The ones who win, they train their minds to stay locked on the vision no matter what life looks like in the moment. You could put them in a storm and they'll still grind. You could throw them into chaos and they'll still move because their vision is louder than their surroundings. They don't listen to the noise. They don't get pulled down by what's around them. They stay focused on what they're building, on who they're becoming, and they keep going. It's easy to grind when things are smooth. It's easy to show up when everything's lined up perfectly. But greatness isn't built on ease. It's built on commitment. It's built on showing up when the bank account is low, when the schedule's full, when the support is missing. You show up anyway. You grind anyway, because the grind doesn't respond to circumstances. It responds to discipline. And here's the truth. Your circumstances aren't permanent. They're temporary. They change. But if you let them shape your grind, you'll be up one week and down the next. You'll never find rhythm. You'll never create momentum. That's why vision has to be the fuel. That's why you have to look at where you're going, not where you are. Because the grind that's fueled by vision is consistent, it's reliable. It doesn't stop just because life gets messy. You've got to get so focused that nothing around you can break you. You've got to hold that vision in your mind every day, even when you feel discouraged, even when things aren't going your way. That's when you remind yourself, I'm not grinding for right now. Grinding for what's coming. You have to believe that your future is bigger than your frustration. You have to believe that what you're working for is worth every drop of sweat, every sleepless night, every sacrifice. And don't expect everyone to understand. They won't, because most people grind according to what they see. Most people play small because their current situation is small. But you've got to see beyond the struggle. You got to believe beyond the limits. That's what vision does. It lets you see what others can't. It lets you move with purpose even when everything around you says stop. When you lock in the vision, your grind becomes sacred. You stop negotiating with your circumstances. You stop waiting for better timing. You stop doubting. You just work. You show up again and again. You stay faithful to the process because you know where you're going. You know what you're chasing, and nothing around you can steal that from you. So if your surroundings are tough right now, good. That's the perfect training ground for greatness. Let the chaos sharpen your focus. Let the pressure build your patience. Let the struggle stretch your strength. But don't you dare stop grinding. Don't let your circumstances shrink your dreams. Let your vision elevate your grind. Keep pushing, keep climbing. Keep showing up like the breakthrough is already yours, because it is. You just have to grind until the world catches up. Grind like your future depends on it, because it does. Every move you make today, every choice, every hour you invest is shaping the life you're going to live tomorrow. The future isn't some far-off thing waiting to surprise you. It's being built right now, brick by what you do when no one's looking. You can't play with it. You can't be casual. You got to take it personally. You've got to treat every moment like it matters, because it does. The grind isn't just about what's happening now. It's about creating a future where you don't have to settle, where you don't have to struggle the way you are now. Too many people are living like they got forever, like they can put things off. Like they can wait until next week, next month, next year. But time doesn't wait for anyone. Every day you waste is a day you never get back. And while you're sleeping in, while you're distracted, while you're making excuses, someone else is grinding, someone else is building. Someone else is turning their future into something powerful while you're still dreaming about yours. That's the difference. The people who win, the people who rise, they don't take their future lightly. They grind like every rep counts, like every rep count, like every day is a chance to get closer. Because it is. Your future is not some distant fantasy. It's a reflection of what you do daily. You can't expect a future of freedom, success, impact, and fulfillment if your daily habits are full of laziness, fear, and procrastination. You want to live on your terms. You want to break generational curses. You want to give your family a life they've never seen. Then you better start grinding like it's life or death. Because it is. Maybe not physically, but your dreams are on the line. Your potential is on the line. Your calling is on the line. You don't have time to be playing games. Nobody's going to hand it to you. No one is going to show up and say, here's the future you wanted. It doesn't work that way. You have to earn it through discipline, with sacrifice, through showing up when you don't feel like it, through staying focused when everyone else is distracted, through choosing growth when it would be easier to stay comfortable. You don't get to have it both ways. You either grind now and live free later, or you slack now and pay for it with regret. There's no shortcut. You have to get this in your spirit. Where you're going is more important than where you are. And the way to get there is through relentless effort. You don't need perfection. You don't need perfection. You don't need ideal circumstance. What you need is all hunger, try. You've got to want it so bad that nothing can make you quit. Not failure, not pain, not setbacks, not criticism, nothing. Because when your future is on the line, quitting is not an option. You fight, you hustle, you push through, you grind like your future depends on it. And the crazy part is, it does. Every skill you learn now, that's future income. Every habit you build now, that's future freedom. Every ounce of discipline you show today, that's a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of you tomorrow. It adds up, it compounds, one choice at a time, one step at a time. That's how futures are built, quietly, steadily, through the grind. You can't afford to grind based on how you feel. You have to grind based on what you want. Feelings are temporary. They lie. They fluctuate. But your future, that's forever. And if you let your emotions dictate your effort, you'll always fall short of what you're capable of. You'll always live in a version of your life that's smaller than what you were made for. You've got to be bigger than your mood. You've got to be stronger than your distractions. You've got to be obsessed with building a life that reflects your purpose. Nobody's going to chase it for you. Nobody's going to wake you up. Nobody's going to hold your hand. This is your grind, your dream, your mission. You got to take ownership of it every single day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, because those are the days that shape you. Those are the days that test your character. And those are the days that most people quit, but not you, because you're grinding like your future depends on it. You want to be great? Then make decisions that your future self will thank you for. You want to be remembered? Then sacrifice now for the legacy you'll leave behind. You want to win? Then get up, lock in, and grind. Not tomorrow, not when things feel easier, not when you're motivated. Right now, because the life you want, it's waiting, but it's not coming to find you. You have to chase it. You have to earn it. And the only way to do that is to grind like everything you've ever wanted. Depends on what you do today, because it does. You've got to earn your spot every day. Don't get it twisted. Just because you had a good day yesterday, just because you won last week, just because you were on top once, doesn't mean anything today. The grind resets daily. Life doesn't care what you did yesterday. Success doesn't care about your past wins. You've got to wake up hungry every morning like you've got something to prove. Because the moment you start coasting, the moment you start feeling entitled, that's the moment you start losing. Complacency kills momentum. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. You've got to fight for your spot like it could be taken any minute, because it can. There's someone out there right now waking up earlier than you, working harder than you, staying more focused than you. They're hungry. They're chasing something. They're grinding like their life depends on it. And if you get too comfortable, if you let your previous accomplishments make you soft, that person is going to take your spot. They're going to outwork you, not because they're better, but because they refuse to relax. Because they treat it every day like an opportunity, not a trophy. You own your spot, you lease it, and the rent is due every single day. That means you can't afford to take a day off mentally. You can't afford to show up halfway. You've got to bring it every time. You've got to grind with the same fire you had before you got anything. In fact, you've got to grind harder because success doesn't just test your hunger. It tests your discipline. It tests whether you can stay locked in after you've tasted a little bit of comfort, a little bit of applause, a little bit of success. That's where most people lose. They get a taste and then they slow down. They stop doing what got them there in the first place. They forget the long nights, the early mornings, the sacrifice, and they start coasting. But the top doesn't have cruise control. If you want to stay there, you got to grind like you're still trying to get there. You got to treat every rep, every meeting, every decision like it matters, because it does. When you lose that edge, someone else will find it. And when they do, they're coming for your spot. That's what greatness demands. Daily effort, daily commitment, daily grind. There are no off days for your dream. There are no vacation days from excellence. If you want to be the best, you've got to earn it every time you show up. You got to bring intensity, focus, and humility because you're never above the work. You're never too good to grind. The moment you think you've arrived is the moment you start to decline. You see, the great ones, they don't take success as permission to relax. They take it as a challenge to go even harder. They celebrate the win, then get right back to work. They don't let yesterday's success make them soft. They stay sharp. They stay hungry because they know the grind is relentless. It's always moving. It's always moving. It doesn't pause for your comfort. It doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't wait for your motivation. And if you don't show up with that same fire, it will move on without you. And let's be real. You didn't come this far to slow down now. You didn't go through all that struggle just to settle. You didn't fight your way through the pain, through the criticism, through the fear, just to coast. You're here because you want more. You're here because you know you got more inside you. And if that's true, then act like it. Work like it, grind like it, earn it every day. You want to be the best? Then every day is game day. Every day is a chance to prove yourself, not to the world, but to you. Can you stay consistent? Can you stay committed? Can you keep showing up with the same energy, the same focus, the same discipline, even when no one's watching? That's the real test. That's the real grind. Because it's not about one great performance. It's about stacking great days. It's about being excellent so consistently that people have no choice but to notice. And don't expect anyone to clap for you every day. Don't expect recognition, validation, or applause. This journey is about internal standards, not external rewards. This is about you holding yourself accountable. This is about you demanding the best from yourself, even when nobody else is around. Because if you can do that, if you can grind in silence, earn your spot in the shadows, stay hungry in the darkness, then when the lights come on, you'll be ready. Not just to arrive, but to dominate. So the question is, are you grinding like your spot depends on it? Are you moving like somebody's trying to take what you built? Are you focused like everything is still on the line? Because it is. And if you stop earning it, if you stop grinding, if you stop treating the work like it matters, someone else will step in and take your place. So stay sharp, stay humble, stay hungry, and keep earning your spot every single day. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You rise to the level of your habits. Dreams are powerful, no doubt. They spark the fire. They give you direction. But they're not enough. Everyone has dreams. Everyone wants more. More success, more freedom, more fulfillment. But very few are willing to create the habits to actually make those dreams real. Because dreams are free, but discipline is expensive. And the price is paid daily in your choices, your routines, your mindset, and your commitment to the grind. You can say you want it all day long, but your habits are the proof. Your habits don't lie. If you say you want to be great, but you sleep through your alarm, your habits are telling the truth. If you say you want to win, but you scroll for hours instead of working, your habits are revealing your real priorities. If you say you're committed, but you skip reps, skip studies, skip the uncomfortable growth, your habits are writing a different story than your mouth is. You don't get to choose your results. You choose your habits, and your habits create your results. That's how it works. You can't just wish for excellence. You have to build it, brick by brick, or through repetition, through structure, through consistent decisions that align with your vision. Want to be a top performer? Build the habits of a top performer. Want to dominate in your field? Then your daily routine better reflect that ambition. It's not about intensity once in a while. It's about consistency every day. Habits are your foundation. When motivation fades, and it will, habits keep you going. When life gets loud and distractions pile up, habits keep you grounded. When fear shows up and self-doubt creeps in, habits keep you moving forward. Because once a habit's locked in, it becomes who you are. You don't have to think about it. You just do it. That's why it's so important to build the right ones. Because in the heat of life's challenges, it's your habits that carry you. Not your feelings, not your intention, not your goals. Just a raw, automatic structure you build into your day. Look at the greatest in any area. Athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. And what you'll find behind the glory isn't just talent or vision. It's discipline. It's routines. It's non-negotiable standards they live by. Morning after morning, night after night, when nobody's watching. When it's not glamorous. That's what sets them apart. It's not that they wanted it more. It's that they trained themselves to do what needed to be done over and over again until it became second nature. And here's the truth. You already have habits. The question is whether they're helping you or hurting you. Every day you're training yourself in focus or in distraction, in strength or in weakness, in discipline or in laziness. The way you start your morning, the way you respond to stress, the way you handle boredom, those are habits. And those little patterns, repeated daily, are either pulling you closer to your goals or pushing you further away. That's why it's time to stop dreaming and start building. You want to change your life, change your habits. Start small, but stay consistent. Cool. Don't just say you'll get up early. Set the alarm and get up. Don't just say you'll work out. Schedule it and show up. Don't just talk about discipline. Prove it in the routine. Stack those wins. Build momentum. Replace excuses with action. Because once you master your habits, you unlock a level of power most people never reach. You become dependable, focused, relentless. And yeah, it's not easy. That's why so few stick with it. Habits take effort in the beginning. You're fighting against comfort, against convenience, against the old version of yourself that just wants to chill. But if you push through that resistance, if you keep showing up, it gets easier. Your body starts to adapt. Your mind starts to shift. And soon, what once felt like discipline becomes part of your identity. You don't have to convince yourself to work. You're a worker. You don't have to force yourself to focus. You're locked in. That's the transformation you're looking for, not hype, not just motivation. But transformation through structure, through systems, through discipline. That's how you rise. That's how you grow. That's how you win. So if you got a dream, keep it in front of you. But now it's time to back it up with habits. Ask yourself, what do the best version of me do daily? How does that version eat, sleep, think, speak, act, and then go do that? Not once, not occasionally, but until it becomes you. Because in the end, it's not what you say you want that shapes your future. It's what you do, consistently, intentionally, repeatedly. Dreams may start the fire, but habits build the flame. So build wisely, grind daily, and rise with the power of what you choose to do every single day.